Last two articles for today, okay? So we'll be talking about Hannah Wesche, Wesche. And if you want to watch it, you can watch it. You can watch it on Prime Crime. You can find it on Pluto or CW. It's on season 2, episode 4. When a child dies in a babysitter's care, investigators piece together whether this was an accident or something more sinister. Also, they do have it on the dark web got their Law page on YouTube called Law and Crime Network. So you just get on Law and Crime Network, watch the case as well. But it's titled The Babysitting Murder of Hannah Wesche, What We Know So Far. Sentenced to life in prison, babysitter Lindsay Partin, Partin, maintains she's innocent of murder despite her admissions to police. Y'all watch the whole video on Long Crime Network. Also, I did just posted her on my crimes on my page, okay? So let's begin. Parents entrust the care of their children to babysitters with the expectation that they will provide a safe and nurturing environment. However, it is a heartbreaking reality that some cases of child abuse and even death involved individuals who were trusted and relied on. Okay? Such is the case of Hannah Wesche, a 3-year-old girl from Butler County, Ohio, who collapsed in her babysitter's home on multiple people watching her as well. On March 8, 2018, Hannah suffered a severe head injury and had several bruises on her face, neck, arms, and body. She died 10 days later. Police questioned 36-year-old Lindsay Partin, Hannah's neighbor and babysitter. While she changed her story multiple times after Hannah's fall and her injuries, medical evidence and expert witnesses will prove otherwise. Partin was convicted by the Butler County Common Pleas Court on April 2019. She was charged with murder, involuntary manslaughter, and 4 counts of endangering a child. Her sentence, life in prison with a possibility of parole after 18 years. Fast forward to 4 years later. Hold on, let me screenshot that. Fast forward to 4 years later, and Lindsay Partin remains behind bars at the Dayton Correctional Institution. But her quest for justice continues. She maintains her innocence, and her family and friends wholeheartedly support her. Partin believes she deserves another trial. No, you do not, because she didn't do anything to hurt Hannah. If I find it on Law Crime, I'll put it down here too, but we also gonna watch it, okay? Is her release from prison even possible? Can she reverse the court's indictment on 6 counts? This article provides an overview of Hannah Wesche's murder, so her body could still be around, and her babysitter's attempt to turn the court's decision in her favor. Even they wasn't gonna let her win. We will cover her appeals and their results. We also look into the prospects of a new trial, starting with this new photo, and if it can be losing evidence of her innocence and perhaps her ticket towards acquitted. Okay, this is Hannah again, Hannah Wesche. Okay, that's her father speaking. I've been working with her mama and her grandma on her dad's side. Hannah Wesche was born on January 11, 2015. Jason would raise her along as her mother, Adrienne Laham, was arrested for selling and losing heroin. Hannah will also, what she told them, but still, okay. Hannah will also have to live with a heroin addiction, unfortunately inheriting from her mother. When she was about 2 years old, she and her father moved to Shank Road, Hamilton, Ohio. Her father found a job at a construction firm down the road and left Hannah to a babysitter so he could work. He would drop Hannah off at Lindsay Partin's home as early as 7 o'clock a.m. Yes, it was another man there. It wasn't her real father, but they said it was her father though. He would drop Hannah off at Lindsay Parton's home as early as 7 o'clock a.m. and pick her up after his shift. This was Hannah and Jason's routine for 8 months. However, something was quite different on the morning of March the 8th, 2018. Within minutes of reaching her babysitter's home, Hannah would collapse from a fall that would end in her tragic death 10 days later. What was initially thought to be an accident would turn out to be a case of physical child abuse from her babysitter. Hannah's babysitter, Lindsay Parton, stands 4 feet 11 with straight blonde hair and a petite frame. She lived in 4050 Shank Road in Butler County, Ohio, with her longtime partner, Timothy J. Smith, and their 2 daughters. Lindsay had an associated degree, which is not her kids as well. Lindsay had an associated degree in preschool education from them and accepted babysitting jobs as a side hustle. Aside from this, she also worked as a bookkeeper for her father and as a Mary Kay consultant. She started babysitting Hannah Wesche in 2017. Though she was resentful at first, she soon grew to love Hannah and treated her as her own. See, right there. She would look after her 5 days a week for 8 to 12 hours every day. She fed the little girl and sometimes washed her clothes. Parton was paid $30 a day, but Hannah's father was often behind with his payments. Hannah was quite mischievous as well. She once dumped ketchup in her babysitter's toilet. Okay, so really, they really didn't hire her. She just kidnapped her. Okay. At this time, Parton was also having problems in her personal life. She had suffered a miscarriage a few weeks before Hannah's death. Her relationship with Timothy was also on the rocks. Add to that the stress of taking care of her 2 young children and 2 others, including Hannah, all under the age of 4. Hannah's grandfather would soon notice several bruises on her chest. So like basically she was living with the real parents, but also another part of her was living with her next door. So if something happened to the other part of her, it gonna show up on her physical body, like her real body, okay? Like a doppelganger, like with 2 parts of her. Hannah would tell her grandfather it was the babysitter who did it. Jason would also notice a deep scrape on Hannah's chin, which the babysitter would attribute it to her stepping on a toy and falling off. According to Parton, Hannah also fell on some gravel. And when Hannah collapsed in minutes after arriving at her babysitter's home, Lindsay would say that she had no idea what had happened. In subsequent police interviews, Parton would change her story multiple times. She would confess to the police that on March the 8th, 2018, Hannah couldn't stop whining after her dad dropped her off. She eventually admitted to shaking Hannah until she stopped whining. Cool. Parton dropped and then shook the little girl when she wasn't responding. I'm hearing baby syndrome, baby shock syndrome. She will, yeah, that can still be for 3-year-olds. She will also admit to hitting Hannah's upside the head, aggressively poking her on the chest, and squeezing Hannah in the middle of her body. I'm hearing both of them. She also recalled striking Hannah's chin with an uppercut fist. Christ, who, when she was cross-examining, she said that she believed it was okay to hit Hannah, squeeze her in the middle, or shake her. No. They even teach you that in school. When you try to be a babysitter, yes, I went to one. According to her, it was all part of disciplining a toddler. She also thought that Jason would support her method for disciplining the little girl. The judge, however, thought otherwise. Lindsay Parton was sentenced to life imprisonment for murder, involuntary manslaughter, and 4 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. Lindsay Parton's appeal. Lindsay Parton says that she is innocent and did not endanger Hannah in any way. In September 2020, appellate attorney Neil Sargent filed an appeal to the 1st Appellate District Court of Butler County, Ohio on her behalf. They want to overturn Parton's conviction and set her free. Well, not no more because we stepping in. Okay, the real ones. According to her lawyer, the trial court made several errors in Parton's case. They claimed that the prosecution did not disclose some facts and that she received ineffective assistance from counsel. During the 7-day hearing, doctors who attended Hannah at the Cincinnati Children's Hospital confirmed that Hannah's head injury and multiple bruises were not caused by common childhood accidents, but manifestations of child physical abuse. Parton's defense lawyer questioned the inclusion of the forensic pathologist Dorothy Dean's testimony regarding the location and patterns of Hannah's bruises. They argued that Dr. Dean's statements under oath were not included in her written report. The jury, however, stated that her opinion was within the scope of their opinion letter and that testimonies from the other doctors corroborated her findings. The defense will highlight Jason Ritchie's inconsistencies in his testimony. When questioned by the police, Jason was so distraught about his daughter's condition that he failed to mention that there was another person with them the night before, March the 8th. See, I told y'all before I even read this. He first stated that on the night of March the 7th, he and Hannah went to buy milk at Walmart. However, detectives did not find milk in his home. 2 days before his testimony, Jason recalled that his friend Chris was staying with them. Parton's counsel argued that the inconsistencies indicated Jason or Chris as suspects. However, the court declared that Jason's whereabouts and the fact that there was another person in their home were not relevant to the case. Actually, it is. The medical evidence showed that Hannah's injuries will render her unresponsive within minutes. So she must have sustained them in the short time she was in Parton's home, rather than the night before when she was in her own home. See, this is Lindsay. I just posted her, okay? And Hannah, okay? As a daughter, okay? In addition to these, Parton also claimed that the police officers forced us to confess. The court reviewed her police interviews and found that this was not true. The police read her Miranda's rights, and she willingly signed the Miranda waiver forms. They did not see anything in the detective's demeanor on a language that would suggest that Parton were coerced or threatened to admit the crime. No, I mean, that's just what they do, okay? Parton's lawyer also challenged, maybe the tape, but I still think it's up to y'all. Also challenged the trial court's decision for lack of evidence for child endangering, involuntary manslaughter, and murder. In contrast, the appellate court found significant evidence based on the written report and testimonies of Hannah's attending physicians. See, the child abuse specialist and the forensic pathologist, that's their own shit. They got their own, we got our own, okay, period. Okay, while Parton's lawyers raised several grounds for appeal, even they do find them guilty of it, they not gonna do shit to them, okay, basically. The appellate district court recognized the expert witnesses' testimonies and written reports, along with the police interviews, as sustainable evidence to uphold her conviction and deny her appeal. Latest development: 4 years into her life sentence, Lindsay Parton continued to affirm her innocence. Lately, she found hope through a photo shared on the YouTube channel Truth and Transparency. She believes that this photo of 1-year-old Hannah with bruises on her chest will be her ticket to freedom. The picture could prove that Parton did not cause all of Hannah's injuries and may reduce her sentence. At the very least, she will get a new trial. While her lawyers continue to build her case, Lindsay remains at the Dayton Correctional Facility trying to stay productive despite being behind bars. She does her laundry and attends music therapy and parenting classes, okay, just like me. She also training to become a peer mentor to help inmates with their issues. Yeah, I did get my law degree in jail, in prison, yes I did. In addition, Parton also assists other inmates in getting their high school diplomas and writing file briefs for their release. While Parton sits behind bars, armchair investigators and true crime bloggers had tackled her case with gusto. With the discovery of this new evidence, everyone is eager to see how the next chapter of this case will unfold. What we can learn from Hannah Wesche's murder case. Hannah Wesche's case demonstrates how excessive discipline can endanger the welfare and even the life of a child. When a child gets hurt or worse, dies due to physical abuse, it is up to the authorities to determine the severity of the abuse and the corresponding penalties. Endangering the welfare of a child is a serious offense, especially when it leads to more serious crimes such as homicide or murder. 2. And while appeals can be made, evidence plays a crucial part in upholding or reversing a criminal conviction. Okay, y'all? So y'all have to help more into this case, y'all can. To the real families of the victim, we will get y'all set up. And yes, I do not do this for fame or money. I do it because it's what I love to do. Okay? And be safe.